Welcome to Dishin It Up. My name is Chef Manny. Today I have an exciting show for you. We'll be doing roast chicken with pan gravy, and it's going to be served with a pumpkin and potato croquette, and then we're going to serve a roast corn ragu. So let's cook. So the first thing we're going to do, I want to show you today, is how to really break down a chicken before you roast it. That's very important because for a chicken, you can be so versatile when it comes to the usage and how you work it, all right? So for breaking down the chicken, this is how we're gonna do it. So I'm gonna use a sharp knife, just cut the skin right in there, bend it back with my hands like that. And I'm gonna flip it over, right? I'm gonna use my nice sharp knife, make sure I go right into the center, take out all of that bone. All right, that's one. Bend it back again, go into the back of that meat, take out all that oyster meat. So that's two thighs. We always want to keep it on ice. We get our ice bath right there working. Keep my cutting board dry because we don't want to cross-contaminate nothing. We're going to French these two breasts. So we're going to take the wing, cut it around, wrap it around like so. All right, so then we're going to just scrape the bone a little bit to loosen that cartilage, bend it off, and get a nice clean airline breast. All right, so the same thing for the next side. Cut it around clean, scrape the bone off clean. So put our two wings on ice. Now we have a semi-boneless breast. So now we're going to open it up. Open it up like that. We're going to take out this rib bone. All of these going to be used to make the sauce for the roast chicken. All right, so nothing going to get waste. I know sometimes this is a favorite part of the chicken that persons love to eat, but in this preparation we're going to use it to make the sauce. All right, so we get the breast like that. We're going to take the knife, get a good grip right on that bone there. We're going to make a cut, and we're going to put a V on one side, put another V on the next side. Now we're going to take the knife and just score that bone like that. We're going to hold the breast in two hands, and we're going to loosen it up. Take our thumb, rub it on the side like that. On next side. All right, so just use my knife and just loosen it up there one time. All right, now I'm gonna rub my thumb on the side there. All right, now I'm gonna take out that bone. All right, just like that. All right, so the bone is out. I'm gonna turn it over, make sure the skin is intact. Each breast is covered perfectly with the skin. Take my knife, cut the breast in half. Now we're gonna stand it up like this. Make sure you get a good look at that. Stand it up like this. Take my knife, loosen that bone, and cut right down until we cut it off completely. All right, almost there. So all that's gonna use for the stock today, all right? So this little wishbone in there, we're gonna take that out, scrape it down. We got a semi-boneless piece of airline breast, all right? One piece. Same thing for the next side. We're gonna stand it up. Stand it up. Gonna turn it around, make sure we just keep a knife against the bone and cut it right off. And work it right down to the joint and cut in between the joint and cut it loose. All right, so there we have it. Two nice airline breasts of chicken. This is the tenderloin. We can just cut that off. All right, so we can put that on ice and make sure you get a good look at that. Clean my board off good. Hot dry, put it right there on ice. So these breasts, you can go ahead and stuff them. You can pan fry them. You can do many different preparations for them. Now one more for the roast chicken for today. So first thing we're gonna do, you're gonna take the knife, take off any excess skin or fat, right? Now we're gonna take off 2 wings, cut them right in the joint. These wings are gonna come in handy for the roast chicken, and I'll show you in a minute how we're gonna utilize those 2 wings. Put this chicken in a bowl, right? Clean down my board, olive oil, get some pepper. Roasting chicken is a really great way to prepare a chicken. So you don't have to worry about frying, or you don't have to worry about you know, adding extra cholesterol to the chicken. What you're gonna do is just take a natural chicken, but make sure you season it down really good. So I'm gonna use some salt, pepper. Gonna rub it really good all over. Make sure you get your fingers underneath the skin like that, and just rub all underneath that breast to get that seasoning to go underneath there. If you're just joining us today, we're doing roast chicken with potato croquettes and a nice roast corn ragu. All right, so nice country meal. All right, so you're gonna season it down really good. So of course we need some fresh herbs for this. So we get our chicken up, put it back on our cutting board. So I get my butcher twine. So we're gonna take the chicken like this, tie it up with string, with a rope, with a butcher twine. Make sure you cross the 2 legs, go underneath that way. Next hand, come underneath the next way. And we want to elevate that breast, because when we roast the chicken, we want this to be elevated, so the breast get really a nice brown, crisp texture on top. All right, so we're just going to tie it to the side. Keep the leg intact, not too tight. Want to keep it nice and good. All right, so there we have it. We have our chicken. Now we get our roasting pan. We're going to take those 2 nice wings. We're going to place them like that. And these are very important. You want these wings to be to the bottom, and you want them the chicken to rest on top of that, so that the bottom of the chicken don't burn. All right, to the bottom of the pan don't burn. All right. Just gonna add some onions. Gonna get some parsley in the middle there. All of these nice vegetables, once the chicken is ready to roast, we're gonna take them out. Then we're gonna go ahead and add those to the sauce. So they're gonna add a good flavor to the sauce. All right, so we got a nice chicken already seasoned. We get it on a pan with the onions. Now we're just gonna sprinkle some carrots and celery around the side. And like I say, all of these are gonna be used for the sauce once we're ready to make the sauce for our pan gravy. All right, so all that dripping from the chicken gonna add great flavor to the vegetables, and they're gonna marry well when we do the sauce. All right, so there we have the first step for our pan roasted chicken with pan gravy. And so we'll be right back after these messages.
Beginning Monday, September 16th, it's the new lineup of ZNS News and Current Affairs. 6 p.m. It's What's Trending, Lifestyles in the Afternoon with Stacey Campbell Marshall. 6:30. We head to the north for the Bahamas Tonight Northern Edition. 7 p.m. It's the Bahamas Tonight National Report, followed by the Bahamas Tonight Access. Now at 7:30. Then at 8 p.m., your nightly news analysis show, The Rundown with Clint Watson. And 11 p.m., the Bahamas Tonight at 11 with Royston Jones. It's a full lineup of the new ZNS. And it starts Monday, September 16th. Only the sun covers the Bahamas better.
All right, welcome back. We now have our nice roast chicken that we placed in the oven for 350 degrees, and we had it in the oven for 45 minutes. So we're just gonna loose the butcher twine that we hold it in shape. And like I said, the reason for the twine is to make sure we elevate that breast and the chicken brown really, really good. All right, so we're just gonna loose that rope. So take it off. So all that nice mirepoix, we're gonna use that to make the gravy, the pan gravy. All right, roast chicken with pan gravy. This is all the bones that we, all the chicken bones that we deboned, we're gonna use that. These are gonna be the part of the gravy, all right? Now, with culinary, one thing we don't do, we don't really use kitchen bouquets. So we use a lot of natural browning. So we allow the meats to brown properly. We use items like this. This is called an onion brulee. It means the brown an onion, and what you does is you add this to your gravy, and this will provide a lot of color. So you don't have to worry about using kitchen bouquet or browning like that. All right, so we're gonna dump all that in a pot and allow that to boil. Some parsley over that like this. Get my nice pot for the sauce. Place it right in there. So all that flavor. So you're gonna have a nice rich chicken flavor to go along with the roast chicken. All right, so make sure you can see that. So we're just gonna put that in there. All right. Very easy dish, but it has a really lot of flavor because you're using a lot of roasting techniques. So some of the things that you do for roasting, I really have to talk about that. So whenever you're roasting, try not to cover the item. So that's one. So when you cover the items, you're allowing steam to develop. All right, so try not to cover the item when you're roasting. Always you want to roast at a high temperature first in the beginning. And as the item is brown, you want to go ahead and turn it down to 300 and allow the items to cook until it's done. So one way you can tell when the chicken is done, you can just turn the bone, and you should get a nice little twist in the bone, or you can pull the thigh open like that, and you should be able to feel that the thigh is pulling apart from the chicken. So another thing that you don't do when you're roasting chicken is you don't go ahead and stick the chicken with a knife. Sometimes persons stick it like that because they want to see if it's done. You don't need to stick it, you just need to let it roast nice and juicy, and then you turn it down. All right, so once again we have the sauce. We're going to just go ahead and make the sauce. So you're going to put that on the fire, let it come to a boil, just to saute off a little bit. We're going to add 2 bay leaves in there. Roast chicken with pan gravy. If you're just joining us, we're going to also be making a pumpkin croquette. And a croquette is very easy to make. All it is just you're making a mashed potato base, and then you're going to flavor it with pumpkin. Or you're going to add fresh herbs and garlic and milk and butter, and then you're going to fry it. All right, so back to our sauce. We're looking good. So now let's go ahead and make our potato croquette. We have just a mashed potato base. Like I told you, you're going to use a mashed potato base. We're just going to fold in the pumpkins. I'm going to fold in the pumpkin. What I want to do is just I already went ahead and make one, so it's going to look like this. So what we did was we add a lot of herbs to it. So this one being in the refrigerator, so you really want to work it from a refrigeration standpoint, because you want it to be really firm up. All right, so what I did was I placed them in the refrigerator. Now I'm just going to go ahead and shape them. All right, so once again we have pumpkin, we have herbs, we have garlic, we have the milk, the butter. Now we're going to shape them. All right, so very easy to make. Rather than mashed potato, you can go ahead and roll these like this. I'm going to give you a couple different designs you can do. You don't have to do it round. You can do it long. You can do it like a log, like that. All don't have to be round. You can do some long. So let's do some long like that. Now we're gonna go ahead and bread those, all right? So like I say, when you're gonna make it, you wanna just go ahead and put it in the refrigerator. And what it's gonna do is it's gonna stiffen up like what I'm working with. And you're able to work with it nice and good. All right, so we're almost there. So if you're just joining us, we're cooking today pan roasted chicken. We're also gonna serve with a pumpkin croquette, and then we have a nice sauce to go along with it. And we also have for the vegetables a really nice roast corn ragu, okay? The roast corn ragu is gonna have in it okra, it's gonna have in it some nice peppers, you know, really good good root vegetables going on. We're using a standard breading procedure. This is what they call a standard breading procedure. And so whenever you're breading anything, this is the format you want to bread them in. You want to start out with the flour first, the eggs, and then the breadcrumb, all right? So the technique is you don't let one hand goes into the flour or both hands goes into flour. So this hand goes in the flour, bring the items over to the egg. The next hand, take the item from the egg and bring it to the breadcrumb. So then your hands will always stay clean. So let me try what I just told you, okay? Let me see if I can practice what I preach. So we got one hand, we keep in the shape, we drop it in there, we take the next hand, while this hand is working it, so we work it in like a, you know, while this hand is dipping that, this hand over here is rolling this in this hand like that. This hand is rolling it in the crumbs. So you're doing two things at once, all right? So one hand in the eggs, this one hand. So your hand don't get all gooey up. See, this hand is nice and clean, you see? So this hand picks it up, while this next hand drops it in there, all right? Very easy. This is how they teach you in culinary school, to really work with eggs and not getting your hand all messed up, all right? So we shape that one. So once these are rolled, we're gonna fry them nice and golden brown. So once again, roast chicken with pumpkin potato croquettes, all right? And we're gonna serve a corn ragu. So we're almost finished. All right, so we're gonna put that last one. All right, so then we're gonna change our gloves and then we're gonna go ahead and clean down the board, all right? So I'm just gonna dry my hands and then I wanna reshape them, all right? So I'm just gonna roll them in my hands like that. Make sure I shape them. You wanna be like a nice log. All right, so that's one. Reshape the next one. All right, so we are almost ready to the end of the dish. All right, so we got our potatoes croquette. We got our roast chicken that's already roasting and resting. We got our fish, we got our chicken stock on. All right, so just to do a little recap, we have the roast chicken that's been resting. We have the sauce on that's ready to strain. We have our potato croquettes ready. We're gonna fry those golden browns. So when you come back, we're gonna be able to show you a really nice, simple meal that you can try home with your family. So we'll be right back after these messages.
Covering the news seems easy, but we put thought into what we're doing. The Bahamas Tonight Access Now, here to inform, educate, and entertain. A new type of newscast featuring social media trends, news from around the islands, interviews with the people you like, sports, weather, and fabulous entertainment. That's a Bahamas Tonight Access Now with Marcellus Hall and LaDon Davis. Live, starting September 16th.
Welcome back. So just to do a little recap, we already have our roast chicken in the oven. It's ready to go. It's been resting. We already made our potato and pumpkin croquettes. Now what we're gonna do in this segment, we're gonna make our sauce and then we're gonna make our vegetables and then we're gonna be able to plate it up so you can see it, all right? So let's make the sauce. We have a nice rich chicken stock been reducing, and if you look at the color is really, really nice and brown. And like I said, we didn't use no kitchen browning, no kitchen bouquet. We used just natural browning of the vegetables and the herbs. That really gives the stock a really rich flavor, all right? So that's important with this kind of cooking, all right? So we're gonna start with a little butter in the pot. we need to make a roux. A roux is something that we use in culinary. We use it to thicken sauces. So there are three kinds of roux. One is a white roux that we use to thicken white sauces. Then we use a blonde if we're making veloutés. And then we use a brown roux if we're making brown sauces. So I'm going to start out with my roux. Equal parts flour, equal parts butter. So I'm just going to put my butter and flour in there. And just go ahead and whisk it around. And get a good browning going on in that pot, right? In the meantime, I'm just going to strain my sauce. 1 second. Strain my sauce right there. All those nice mirepoix along with those chicken wings, and they're gonna give my stock a really good flavor. All right, so place that back there. So you can see we got a nice color going. If you want to keep it moving off the bottom of the pan, so I'm just gonna go ahead and add my liquid in. Roast chicken with pan gravy, all right? So we're looking good. So while my sauce is reducing, I'm gonna start my vegetables. My roast corn ragu. Let's get a little olive oil in the pan. I'm gonna add some onions. Gonna add some mushrooms, get some good flavor going on there for that chicken. We're gonna add some peppers. We got some roast corn going on. This could be with this kind of meal, you really don't need no potato to go along with this, but we're just adding it there for, you know, there's a good bit of vegetables going on in there. Let's get some seasoning going on with some black pepper. Let's get a little bit of salt. Got some green beans in there. All right, we got a nice vegetable going. Now we just need some garlic in there. Just a little splash of wine. A little flavor, because we got mushrooms, we got some nice garlic in there. We want a really rich flavor to the bottom of our veggies. I'm just going to go ahead and add some of the chicken stock, just to give it a little body. So we're looking good. All right, the secret ingredient, we get some nice refried okras, all right? All right, so just to do a little recap, we got a roast corn ragu and mushrooms simmering. We got a nice gravy for roast chicken. We got our croquettes already fried, so when you come back, you're gonna really see a nice, simple, but rich and flavorful roast chicken dish. So we'll be right back after these messages.
Clint Watson has been the trusted voice of journalism for over 2 decades. He is your first choice for hard-hitting discussions, your best choice for current affairs issues and investigative journalism. It's time to start the journey of relentless journalism. It's time to start the journey of facts over fiction. It's time for the Rundown with Clint Watson here on ZNS, where only the sun covers the Bahamas better.
All right, welcome back. We are ready now to give you 2 nice presentations, all right? So one is going to be deconstructed and the other one is going to be a standard plate up. All right, so now let's do a recap. We got a really nice roast chicken that we trusted, then we seasoned. We put a lot of mirepoix in the middle and we roasted. Once the roast chicken is finished, we used all of that caramelization of the mirepoix to make our nice gravy. All right, so then we went ahead and we made 2 nice potato croquettes. So we're gonna put them right in there for 2 nice plate presentation. Right, so also a part of the presentation today, we did some nice roast corn ragu with mushrooms, beans, garlic, a lot of seasoning in there. So for the first presentation, I'm just gonna put some right down in the middle there. Right in the center there, all right? So put there. Now with this dish, this is such a light dish, you could also add a salad along with this. So just a simple salad. So what I did was, I got some arugula, I had some fennel, right? A little bit of balsamic, salt and pepper, all right? Right, a nice little fresh taste to the dish. A little bit of chopped purple onions, all right? So just mix those together. Mix those together, just a little more olive oil in there. All right, so just a nice little salad right there. One last point on roasting. Whenever you're roasting chicken, you always have to let it rest before you cut, because once you put it in the oven, what is going to happen is all that heat is going to penetrate the surface of the chicken, and all that juice is going to run right into the middle. But if you go and cut it, it's going to bleed right out. So you have to let it relax. So when it relaxes, all of that juice is going to just permeate back through the surface of the chicken. All right, so let me just cut off the thigh. So how we serve it, we serve 1 piece of thigh with 1 piece of breast. All right, so we'll cut it through like that. We're gonna cut off the breast. So you want a nice juicy piece of chicken breast. All right, so 1 piece of breast. So if you get that piece of breast, you're gonna get a piece of thigh. So gotta stand it up like that, roast chicken. We're gonna keep the sauce on the side, clean it off nice and good. Let's go ahead and wipe. Now we're gonna finish with a little bit of microgreens, all right? So you get nice roast chicken, should be crispy and juicy. They get the sauce on the side. Same ingredient, but just a different plate presentation. Gonna put that down in the center. Down the center, we're gonna put a piece of breast. Cut off the end of the drumstick. We're gonna go ahead and put the salad right on the side. Now we're gonna come back with the sauce. This one you can put the sauce all over it, all right? Little microgreens on top. All right, so there you have it, folks. 2 really simple plate presentation, but all end up doing the same kind of thing, you know. One keep it simple, one be kind of composed. So we can just put a little piece of lemon on the side. All right, so there we have it, folks. My name is Chef Emmanuel. Our sponsors for the day are Bahamas Striping and also Simplify Lending. See you next time on Dishin It Up.